Yo, what's happening? StreamYard is tripping. Okay, it's showing that I'm live now. I've been trying to go live for like the last 5 minutes. StreamYard has been moving slow. But yes, hey, welcome in, y'all. I'm trying to get this together. I wasn't expecting seeing y'all to just pop me on unexpectedly. But hey, the show must go on. So hey, this is your boy the Lochness on Tuesday. Let's talk about it. I'm actually going early today just so I can give y'all a show. I did make it up there to the training camp today. Nice little showing. DBN, Dirty Birds Nest representing. Look out for me. Uh, Wearing my mask per usual as my alter ego in the Dirty Bird Nest, which is mask off. For those that don't know, I wear like a clown mask. I mean, clowns is my thing. A lot of people are scared of clowns, but not me. Um, my dog in the background is probably gonna be making a lot of noise because he's sickly, but he's directly behind me in his kennel moving around because he just can't get comfortable at all. But let's get this show started. So let me go to the comments. I got Maggie T. I'm so used to saying Maggie T. No, we gotta say Maggie T. Cunningham. You know what I'm saying? We were so used to saying Maggie No. Gotta say Maggie T. Cunningham now. What's happening? I don't know what's going on with StreamYard. It was like moving slow. It was acting like it didn't want me to participate in any of the radio games today. You know what I'm saying? But we here. So we lit. We live. We out here. Let's go. Today, my show is gonna be kind of short. Just wanting to touch bases with y'all. A couple of topics. Just get y'all input on how y'all feel about it. Even after, like I said, coming from the training camp, the telephone. If I don't answer these messages, is it gonna keep coming in, like it's doing? There we go. But yeah, yeah, I could. But I do appreciate everybody for stopping by. You know what I'm saying? Coming in here while we're going ahead and get this thing started. As people come in, I'm going ahead and address them. But like I said, today the show is the Atlanta Falcons. Because I was asked a question. I was like, man, some of my topics come from other fans seeing me out there in the world, and they be like, hey, the Lochness, hey Ty, how you feel about such and such, such and such. So one person came up to me and said, hey man, rubbing his chin. Like I was done, hey man, we ain't gonna have both of them young boys out there. I said, what you mean? Like, we ain't gonna have both of our first round draft picks. How you think this defense gonna look without having both of our first round draft picks? We always believe in, we always want to be optimistic and be like, oh, the next man up, next man up. And then like we always get branded as one of those teams that we look good on paper. You feel me? We look good on paper, but it's like question marks over everybody. We say about the same thing every year. It's like, okay, we got good players, we got proven players, we look good on paper. And I honestly believe, like, since last year, honestly, with Jalen Walker and JPJ out there, a couple of other people, a couple of veterans that we no longer have, our defense, it's like I said, be careful what you ask for. Our defense, we did get pass rush and pressure. In my Knight Rider voice, we always want pass rush and pressure. We always talked about it. And then when I say be careful what you ask for, because we never said, hey man, we want to run stopping capability. Hey man, we wanted to shore up the middle of the defense. Because guess what? We got pass rush and pressure, but our middle of our defense and our run stopping capability was dismal. So now we need to just be more specific about what we want. We want a complete defense, but we're gonna have to do it this year without our two number one draft picks, is which is a bummer. Like it hurts. It hurts actually seeing them guys go down. Well, one guy go down, and the other guy, waiting his, the results of his actions. And then we're gonna dig more deep into that. But like I said, um, the show today, like I said, is the Atlanta Falcons defense without both their first round draft picks. It's one thing that, knock on wood, when you're dealing with first round draft talent and players that have a great, tremendous upside, players that have proven themselves in game speed, players that have went from the collegiate level and translated that to the NFL speed or NFL, get acclimated in the NFL and how the NFL works and runs. It's just heartening when you have young guys with such a high upside, guys that become impactful, plug and play guys. When you draft someone in the first round, you expect them to be plug and play guys. So we're gonna go with the JPJ update. So sitting in training camp, news had came through on my iPhone or my iWatch as well about, hey, the possibility of JPJ, possibly receiving 8 days sabbatical. You know what I'm saying? 8 days of sit your ass at home. 8 days of you no longer participate with the team. 8 days of let's get you to sit on your couch and think about football. 8 days of, dang, maybe I shouldn't have did that. 8 days of, hey man, when y'all gonna let me back? Don't give me my lemon pepper. You know what I'm saying? We tell him, don't give him no lemon pepper plates. He got 8 days to think about what he did. Allegedly. So, somebody might come up with a number. Hey, we might be missing this guy for 8 days. It's a lot of insiders and people that talk about, okay, this man got 8 days. And then people run amok. People run with stuff. And it's a possibility of 8 days. And then you think about it, okay, there's the court of public opinion that feel like he shouldn't be allowed back on the team. It's a court of public opinion that feel like he shouldn't have been allowed to participate in training camp. It's a court of popular opinion, unpopular opinion, or court of opinions that feels like he shouldn't receive no days. Because and some people that feel like he's going to get that reduced if he's appealing the processes that the NFL lay down and the rules that they have, and the strict policies that they put. They try to make sure that they are enforcing. So at the end of the day, it's a possibility for him he's going to receive a suspension or not. And if he does receive, said days, hey, 4 days, 6 days, they say 4 to 6 days. If he appeal it and they say, hey, yeah, okay, that makes sense. But you still got to take some days off because you're doing, you're breaching contract, So what would our defense look like without a JPJ? There's a such thing as like a thunder and a lightning. There's a 1-2 punch. There's a 1-2 step. There's a crackle and pop. You know what I'm saying? I can give you all the this and that. There's a yin and yang. So when it comes to a JPJ and Jalen Walker, you can't have one without the other. Like, it ain't love and marriage, but it's more so like one complements the other one. Because it's like, okay, JPJ is getting there. JPJ is getting his sacks or whatever. Jalen Walker is being disruptive. to a point that he's possibly there. Because when you look at majority of the players from defense, they was around each other. Like you'll see, but if you see one, you'll see the other one. You know, and then you think about how the machine, the cogs on the machine, everybody. That's one thing that I always think about when I think about how our defense stepped up is the Grady Jarrett situation, where we was always saying, "Hey man, we get them other people around Grady Jarrett. Then, hey, Grady Jarrett can't eat." My boy never ate, bro. Everybody else was eating, barely. Grady Jarrett, he wasn't eating like that. So therefore, the results are in. So, and we're gonna leave it at that because I don't want Blackberry coming in here and getting at me. But the JPJ update, I feel like soon we're gonna hear something. We're coming around that point where, you know, this Friday is our first preseason game. 2 weeks from there, we got the Indianapolis Colts, and who else we have? The Miami Dolphins, I believe, are our 3 preseason games. The Denver home, and then 2 away preseason game. And then we got a away game against the Steelers. You know, it's gonna be crazy. Yeah, share this content out. Oh, let me get to that. Hey, if you haven't followed me, obviously I'm trying to move quick. If you haven't followed the Lochness on the Lochness podcast, please follow the Lochness on the Lochness podcast on YouTube. And I would very much appreciate it to my road to 500 subs. You feel me? Follow your boy. But like, subscribe, share the content out, leave me a message, say what's up, Lock. Say I seen you at training camp, whatever. You know, can't wait. Hey, when I see you in the building, what game? Tell me what game you're gonna be at. What home game you're gonna be at? Because I know a lot of people going to the Ravens game when we play the Ravens. Because a lot of people like Lamar Jackson, and I got a little bit going on with somebody with the Ravens. So, but yeah, without having a JPJ, we're not gonna get those 10.5 sacks, or we're gonna be doing it like how I thought we would do it with Grady Jarrett gone. Basically, pass rush by committee. We don't need guys. We don't need them implementing the exact formula of what they did last year. What we need for people to do is be a 4 step up and be consistent. So you don't need to give me 10, give me 6. You know what I'm saying? If you can't give me 5 like, you know, Jalen Walker did, give me 4 sacks. Give me 3 sacks. And consistently do it. Like 3 a game. 3 a game. You know, 2 a game. You know, if everybody that's rushing the passer and they get 1.5, 2, you know, several people get those, you know, we'll be good. You know, understanding that sometimes, and I'm gonna get to this later on in the show. But y'all think about it. A lot of people talk about this and I wasn't gonna have a conversation about this, but I'm gonna segue this into my show. And then people be like, man, the Falcons, I heard this too. The Falcons are cursed, man. The Falcons are cursed. Falcons are cursed, man. You know, y'all got to think about a lot of the things that we was dealing with when it came to this Falcons team is we were dealing with salary cap hits. We was dealing with these crazy contracts for people that aren't proven, or they are, you know, it's like, it's funny how people would have a problem with us paying the people we paid, but it was back in the days where we were just giving everybody contracts. People, like, even before Jesse Bates even stepped on a field with us, they felt like we overpaid Jesse Bates. And then when he stepped on the field, it was like, oh, okay. And then when he's not here, you know, back injury or now, it's like, man. And then at one point in time before, they were talking about last year. See, a lot of people like to run with the media, like the media narrative. Like, they was like, oh, he's too old. He can old. So let's get rid of Jesse Bates. Let's get rid of people who can take our young guys to the next level. Look at Xavier Watts, Billy Bowman. You know, let's not get rid of people that can mentor and take our people to the next level. You know what I'm saying? So that's not how you do that. To me, my opinion. But like I said, this JPJ situation, it's gonna be we're gonna play it by ear. When we get the information, we'll get it. Hopefully, Adam Shefty will go ahead and let us know. Whoever else got the inside track. Most of the time, when Adam Schefter say something, I'm right there. It hits my phone. I'm like, okay. He'll put it on Twitter or something like that. And now let's go to Jalen Walker injury. Well, last Tuesday, we was thinking like, oh man, maybe Jalen Walker, it's just a high ankle sprain. Maybe he just tweaked it. Maybe it was, they called him off just because they didn't want him to put pressure on it to further tweak it even more. But the results are in, y'all. Out for the season, man. And then it's starting. It's one of those things like when it was on the back end of the training camp where you want your players to go extra because this is the thing. If they took light of training camp, not even really lackadaisical, you know what I'm saying? People would be like, dang, this person production falling off. They don't look good. They look like they were doing on their time. You know what I'm saying? So it's hit or miss. It's like you want to go, not necessarily, unless a game speed. I would say you want to go 80% game speed, like you actually in the trenches, to a point where it's like I had like when I was in training camp, I didn't go to the training camp when he got hurt, but I went like after he got hurt. And one of the people that was around me, you can hear the mutters and the talks and the conversation. And they said, what did they say? They was like, basically, when he went down or when they're actually doing their drills and stuff like that, it's just like, why aren't they, or what are they doing on their off time? Because like I said, Jalen Walker has so much promise and so much upside, and he was going to be like, okay, Jalen Pierce is out for how many days? Cool, Jalen Walker can step in. He said, I know the league gonna hate on us and suspend Pierce just to be petty, knowing Walker is hurt. Oh yeah, I mean it's gonna show up, and I'm gonna get into that. Like I said, my next take once I talk about this Jalen Walker injury, my next take is basically about how we're gonna look, against this uphill battle. We got an uphill battle, y'all, and we're facing adversity in so many different levels when it comes to this team. And it's like some of it it's even outside of football, some of it is outside of football. So let's see. Get to another comment. Michael ATL. Michael said, Max with the fire emojis. He said, but with the injury being so early, he may can come back for the playoffs if we make it. If we make it, man, you gotta see how we work, man. How manifestation work, man. You have to see it and believe it and know it's true. You know what I'm saying? I see that the Falcons. We was doing a chant today, in the Dirty Birds Nest. They said, it don't matter what happens in the season, as long as we beat those Aints. And I was like, wait a minute. Now I want us to beat everybody in our division. I care what happens in the season. Like I don't want it to be just us just beating the Aints and that's it. That's our Super Bowl. Or we so happy that we got them 2 wins against them. Nah, bump that. I want us to beat everybody in the division. He said, I'm not even about Walker the way. You saying you're not worried, like basically you're not worried about Walker the way Perkins is playing. Well, I'm gonna be 100%. We want all our ballers out there, man. Regardless of what. I mean, I get it. Somebody else can be like, okay, the way this person is playing or the way this person is looking, I mean, I feel confident that he can step into his role and do what he do. And I get that. But wouldn't the cake taste even sweeter if you had the appropriate icing? If you say, hey man, I want that buttercream, that vanilla, I want that yellow cake, buttercream ice, or that chocolate, and then with the sprinkles on top. And then they be like, well, we ain't got chocolate, we got strawberry. You might be like, well, strawberry tastes good, but I wanted chocolate. That's how it is. It just tastes even better having all the ingredients that we need on our defense. Uh, I think Sample, Cam, Thomas, Trice can all say edge in the run game similar to Walker. Yeah, see, that's the thing. We're going to do it by committee. It's going to be exactly what we were talking about when we had Grady Jarrett, and we were talking about how, hey man, Grady Jarrett can eat. We got all these people around us, and it's basically that. It's like we're not going to expect Sample, Cam, Thomas, Trice. We're not going to expect them to get 10 sacks apiece. We're going to expect them, if each one of them, just saying for the sake of argument, if each one of them got between all of them, if they ended up with 4 to 5 sacks in a game, we're good. We're good. He said, "Oh, you're not worried." Yeah, I got you. The Atlanta injuries. I'm telling you, they're killing us. That's why we're going to be facing uphill battle. But Flavor A be on point too, though. Exactly. But when you sit out here, usually, you go to that Food Depot. I know about that Food Depot Flavor A, and you go out there and you see the goddamn, you see the 4 packs for $1 Kool-Aid, or then you see the Flavor A 10 packs for 10. You might be like, I know Kool-Aid is busting, but that Flavor A ain't bad either. Hopefully they can get healthy. Conditioning, preparation, strength training, and time. That's it. Conditioning, preparation, strength training, and time. Those 4 things is what's going to determine. And then I would say after the time, we'll do a number 5, the mental aspect. Because once you come back from an injury, you like, hey, Miss Pam, hey, Lochness, everyone in the chat, happy Tuesday. You know how when you get hurt, you don't realize how much you use your pinky until you hurt your pinky, and then you're trying to do something and you keep hitting it. And you self-consciously thinking like, I don't want to hit my pinky, but boom, you keep hitting it, you keep bumping, you keep hitting it. That's how it is. You want people to be healthy, but you don't realize, like, in the mental aspect, when coming off an injury, you're gonna be self-conscious and be like, okay, I'm not gonna put too much pressure on my ankle. I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna step the same way. I'm gonna remember how I stepped when it popped. You know what I'm saying? So you're not gonna be trying to do too much. But then again, my thing is maybe we need to start taping their knees and start putting their stuff, taping their ankles and knees and putting the braces on their knees and stuff in training camp. Treat training camp like it's actually you in a game, literally. I know you're not going all in. I know you even players can rough each other up, and cause certain types of injuries. The biggest question marks are JPJ, OT, and offensive tackle, wide receiver 2, and maybe Bates. Yeah, I think JPJ is gonna be straight. I just think we just gonna have to come out. They thinking like we ain't gonna win no games till later on in the year anyway. So per usual, we're still looking at a uphill battle against even the media. In our own, sometimes we shoot ourselves in the foot. Sometimes the injury bug, gets a couple of us. Offensive tackle, I'm really not worried about offensive tackle as much because I feel confident that Callahan is going to make, a lot of the times with the Cowboys offensive line, they had some big guys up there, pause that. But I think it wasn't the quality of the guys, it was the coaching that made the quality, if that makes sense. Like if I coach a guy up, I can take Bergeron that we just paid and he gonna be that guy. Even with Jake Matthews, whatever Jake Matthews is gonna be doing, or whatever the case may be. But and then McGary, him making his decision. Honestly, I really think with McGary, I think they're giving him another year to get more healthier, and then come back and unretire. I think he gonna do a Goldman on us. I think McGary gonna do a golden on us. I think he gonna be sitting out for the two. This is just me. Now he come back and be like, I'm unretired. I want y'all to come back. Hey, the Lochness said this man gonna he was gonna come back and be like, you know what? Yes, I could go back out there for 2 more years that they already paid me for. Because that was crazy that they paid him and then he got hurt. And then all of a sudden after that, he retired. So they were like, hey, man, let's save some money on your contract, man. Go take another year off and then we'll start your contract when you come back. Maybe. It's a business too. You said gone for 6 to 8 weeks. Hopefully we take 6. But then again, we don't know if the team is going to rally behind this adversity. We don't know if the team is going to be like, you know what? Fuck this. You know what we finna do? You know what I'm saying? We finna remember the Titans. You know what I'm saying? Watch. He said, watch. I said the same shit. Lock, knee braces, guardian caps, tape for everybody in practice. 71% on NFL injuries in practice. Yeah, I'm telling you, like, why y'all not taping these guys up? Like, hey, we're not learning from people around. We don't see too many people going down in practice. We talking about practice. Going down during a game, that's one of those things it's expected. You're expected to go down in a game, knock on wood. Just because the simple fact of the matter is the contact and speed, people collide, stuff happen, people step on each other. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, that's a part of the game. We don't want to see nobody in no practice get hurt, bro. We don't want you to DJ Shockley that thing. We don't want you to. It's too many people that went down in practice, man, to a point that we ain't learning from our mistakes, or we're not running. I mean, learning from like, okay, what has happened. Cutting Jack Nielsen surprised me though. Anya Awa. That's how you say his name. Don't kill me if I'm butchering his name. Anya must be killing it. Awa. Somebody put that pronunciation in the chat, man, so we can go ahead and get that right. We don't want to butcher his name. He must be. And that's the thing, too. Since they cut some people, too, they signed another tight end, Nick Muse, who was a practice squad guy from many different practice squads. He was around, another tight end. But he might be a good blocking tight end. So that's what people don't understand. They're probably saying, hey, we need another blocking tight end. Because one thing they're going to do is, I honestly believe that they're not going to, what? Let me do a timeout. Timeout, y'all. Time up on the play. Okay. Let's talk about something right quick. Y'all. Let me stop my show right quick. Because I'm finna talk about the person. So it's going to segue to what I'm finna segue. I want everybody to understand what just happened today. Number one, let's talk about something. I seen Kyle Pitts out there, bro. Kyle Pitts look like he done got jacked. Kyle Pitts been in the weight room. Kyle Pitts looked at. I don't know he would ate good. I don't know if he would hit no. He met his macros. But okay, my boy. So he might be prepared to start blocking. Because Kyle Pitts looked like he didn't look, he was kind of slim guy. He was still a big guy, pause that, but he was more slender and he was more athletic. It's like he's built like a tight end now. Like he good to go. He good to go. Real test this Friday. I think at least 2 series the starters are playing according to the coach. It's good. Good idea. All starters should go except Bijan. I'm gonna be 100% with what we're facing with people getting, dinged and put down. Knock on wood. I would just be like, look, man, get a little taste of it, see what you get. It's preseason. Go out there, get a feel of it, see how you're feeling. Sit your ass down. So when I went to training camp, I did get this sign. Michael Penix Jr., he did sign my jersey. So I did get that done, y'all. I did get that done. And I'm gonna just say, wait, him in training camp, he looked good some days. Today was like, yeah, he didn't look too good today. He tried to do a pass and the ball flipped up in the air. I was like, and he was just looking like he was out of it. Or maybe he was tired, maybe it was hot. But Jack Strand, bro, watch out. Even Tua Tagovailoa, he looked pretty accurate. Out there. Tua looked good. Like Tua looked really nice. Like I wouldn't be upset if Tua start, y'all. I wouldn't be upset because Tua, to me, if Tua does Tua, if he do what he normally do, his upside is high. But if he do what he normally do, it's like hit or miss, y'all. It's like hit or miss. I'm gonna be 100%. It's like hit or miss with Tua, man. But he looked very nice today when I was looking at him going through his progressions and his step backs and arm mechanics and stuff like that. Looked really nice. So I'm not gonna cap. Michael Penix, he didn't look good today, but he looked good the last time I was there. That was crazy. Michael Penix looked good the last time I was there, which led me to getting his, you guessed it, his autograph. So I'm good with that. So this finna go into a case. I'm gonna put all of them into a case. Michael's finna have all my money because Michael's charged a lot of money to put these jerseys in the nice looking cases with the color that makes sense. You pick the border and stuff like that. But I'm gonna have to pay it because I want all my jerseys in cases and put them on my wall. But y'all, hold the phone, y'all. Hold the phone. If I could have pulled up this video, I could have pulled up this video. So I'm gonna pull up this video. I'm gonna pull up this video. I'm gonna see, can I show? Okay. I'm gonna see, can I show y'all? Y'all can see this? Hold on, where the camera at? Okay. Hold on, bring it down. See this right here? Uh-oh. Hold on. Who that? Who that is? Walking up. That guy walked straight up. That guy walked straight up to me. That guy walked straight up to me, man. Finally, y'all. I can't talk no more trash, no more shit, no more. I can't dog my boy for 2 years ago. I can't, because my boy, I can't say, hey, man, see Kyle Pitts, you know what you did? You know what Kyle Pitts did? I had my mask on. Let me get my mask. Let me show y'all what I had on. Let me get my mask, man. Let me get my mask right quick. Hold on. Hold on. All right. That didn't take long. All right. For those who don't know, y'all probably see this during the games. This is my mask, right? That's your boy. I call it mask off. So I'll be wearing masks and I'll be lit in the Dirty Birds and this. But I had this on. So my boy, I was sitting there, everybody was doing autographs and stuff. Something said, it was like in a scene in a movie. It was like a scene in a movie, y'all. I gotta reenact it because I was just like, man, I was just sitting here with the jersey in my hand. I had my Drake London jersey and my Kyle Pitts jersey in my hand. And I was just like, man, I was seeing everybody else getting signatures. I'm like, man, they getting autographs. All right. And I looked to my left. And I swear to you, my heart in my chest was pounding. I was like, wait a minute. I said, is that Kyle? I said, is that Kyle Pitts walking up there? And it's like in slow motion. And it was like him walking up. I said, oh my goodness. I had switched the jersey in my hand. Sorry, Drake London, you ran off, man. When you ran off, I was like, I ain't getting his autograph. So I put your jersey kind of to the side. I was like, I ain't gonna get him. I said, Kyle Pitts right there. And then y'all seen the video. My boy walked straight up to me first. I don't know. Asking you shall receive, y'all. Because I was like, bro, I was talking about it. Like, my boy didn't never sign my jersey. So I was like, bro, this guy don't sign my jersey. I'm upset. Y'all see on my shows, I talked about it all the time. And then in my last show, somebody asked me, did Kyle Pitts sign your jersey? And I was like, no, man. And then the last day I was supposed to be up there, you guessed it, your boy got his Pitts jersey. I can't even show it to y'all. I don't even want to show y'all. Kyle Pitts signed my jersey, man. Kyle Pitts signed the jersey. So finally, bro, we in there. We are finally in there, y'all. Finally. Well, you don't know how long. I've been waiting 2 years for that signature. Drake London, I could have got his signature last year when he was at the Atlantic Station. When he was at the Atlantic Station, I think last year, I could have got his signature, but I was like, nah, I ain't going if I ain't have my peoples with me. So, say what's good, Lots? What's happening, Trey? So finally, I got my Kyle Pitts jersey signed, y'all. So now we ain't got to worry about it. So now we can go back to our regular scheduled programming. Because I was like lit. It was almost like when I got Bijan Robinson to sign my jersey. My rookie jersey I have for him. When he signed, I was like, oh, he signed it. Like, I was lit in that training camp. You couldn't tell me nothing when I got Bijan to sign my jersey. But when Kyle Pitts walked straight up to me, and I was the first person he signed, because he was walking his way, and I was like, we looked at each other. I was like, maybe if I show him that I got his jersey, and I'm so lit with my mask on, my boy will walk up to me. And I was like, hey, bro, Kyle Pitts. And he was like, he walked straight up to me. It was lit. But I had to hold it like a G because I didn't want to be like, oh my God. Like, I was like, all right, bro, appreciate it, man. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be cool. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be cool when you meet your peoples, man. You gotta be cool. You can't be glazing them. No glazing. No glazing, y'all. No glazing. We had to be cool. We had to be chill. You know, be easy. You know. But yeah, I just want to tell y'all the little story how it worked out for your boy getting his Kyle Pitts jersey signed after 2 years. After it being 2 years, literally in a training camp, when I was right there handing him my jersey the first time, and my boy was just like, I'm only signing kids stuff. This time, my boy came up to the Dirty Birds nest, and I was the first person he signed. So that to me is just like the God, you know what I'm saying? God was like, you know what? This boy keep on asking for it, man. Here. Because I wasn't expecting him to come back. I just looked to my left and seen him walking up, and I was like, oh my goodness. I was like, bro, is that Kyle Pitts walking over here? He was walking up. I said, my G. And I ain't want to seem like I was glazing him or nothing like that. So I was just like, all right. So he come up, then he got it, handed it to him. He took it, did what he did. I grabbed him, you know, I like, pause, no grabbing. He handed me back my jersey. And I was like, all right, we good. Now I just need my Drake London jersey signed. Now I need my Drake London jersey. I need to get an Avion Terrell jersey, a Branch jersey. But yeah, it was a good day today. Real good turnout. But yeah, back to the show. I'm sorry, y'all. I just had to super fan that thing real quick. How will this defense look facing an uphill battle? Y'all, we got a lot of injuries, y'all. We're facing a lot of adversity that's on and off the field. Our defensive coordinator, his wife battling her battle, and she unfortunately was taken to the upper room. Like I said, prayers to his family and him. But like I said, that's gonna play a toll, and it could, how he's gonna bounce back from that, and we're supporting him. Jalen Walker going down. supporting him as a fan base. We have to, as a fan base, we have to galvanize and represent this team, win, lose, or draw. Doesn't matter how, like, what's going on. We need to represent this team. And I always reference this: the Detroit Lions losing every one of their games, being 0-16, and their team and their fans were still rallying behind them, even being 0-16. And I know when the Falcons lose, like I seen one dude, it was one dude I seen in a Mercedes-Benz Stadium. This dude walked around with a trash bag on his head like he was an Aints fan, but he was a Falcons fan. He was the only Falcons fan I guarantee that, walking with a bag over his head with the eyes cut out, walking. I think somebody even snatched it off his head. Like, boy, don't you do that. Don't do that to the squad. So I challenge y'all to really support this team, even when it's not looking as good. Because we also gotta understand, we got a blessing in disguise. I'm gonna tell y'all the blessing that we got, or we have been bestowed onto us. One of the blessings that we've been bestowed onto us is a Stefanski being somebody that has been through tough times with a team. So understanding, like, okay, this dude has went through some tough times being with the Browns. I'm trying to tell you, the Browns ain't been the best at anything. Like, you know what I'm saying? So with that being said, these are the growing pains that we got to go through. And then understanding also that this is the first time these Avengers have been assembled. We might have some of the same players. We don't lost some key players, but y'all gotta understand, this coaching staff is like, they're pretty much new to each other. Some people might have been here, some people, like, everybody's different. You know what I'm saying? Some people might have worked together with other teams. Some people might have been brought back, but the whole coaching staff this is a clean slate, y'all. Now, it's not looking great because sometimes we feel like it's us. Sometimes when you're going through a situation when you feel like it's only you, I'm the only one that's going through this. We don't know what's going on over here in the Detroit's camp. We don't know what's going on over there in San Francisco's camp, the Rams camp, the Jaguars camp, because we're not engaged. Everybody's having their woes. Everybody's dealing with life. But as a Falcons fan, and I know being a Falcons fan is not for the weak. I say it ain't for the weak. Like, it ain't been. And then y'all gotta understand too. I challenge y'all to be thinking about the fact that we've been losing for 8 years. They said that it's crazy. You know the saying is, like, it's crazy. You're crazy to think. I think it was Einstein that said it. When you think, like, you're going to get different results by doing the same thing. I think that's an Einstein quote. Somebody find that out for me. But when you think, you're crazy to think you're going to get different results doing, like, the same thing. We have a completely different setup now that can yield great results. The blessing in this is, like I said, the Stefanski. Another blessing in this is, because I always try to see the silver lining, is the fact of the matter is, it's happening the first year they're put together. So it's going to be a testament on how they galvanize and how they can deal with the adversity. Because I'm going to be 100%. One thing I've learned in life, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people can contest to this, that you don't get results by doing the same thing. Like, the path of least resistance isn't a fulfilling path. We'll be more fulfilled if we got all this stuff going on and we making it into the playoffs and win the division. Then we're like, okay, you see what we did last. Then we're gonna have this year that we can go ahead and use to reference for next year. You feel me? Make sense? So yeah, man, we just need the fans to show up for this team, man. Everybody like to dance around and we celebrating when we're doing good, and then we be kicking rocks and spitting and shouting at the team when we're making some decisions. Because and it's not because we don't love our team. Like I said, my perspective on that aspect is that we're tired of losing. So what's happening is it's trickling down to our fandom where it hurts. It's hurt to represent the squad. It hurts to be like, man, I love my team. Oh, I love my team. But when they're doing their stuff, it's like, you throwing your hands up. It's not a good feeling. It's not a good feeling at all. I'm gonna be 100%. Be 100% with that. So yeah, y'all, we're fighting an uphill battle. It's gonna be very difficult. We still have some playmakers on this team. They still have some guys that can step into the place. Like they said, Harold Perkins Jr. He was somebody that was a talent, like a first round talent that fell to us. It's crazy. It's like we got some talent. We got first round talent on this team. We just, like I said, the execution and coaching is gonna have to. And then, like I said, the fans, everybody showing up for the team, everybody showing up, representing with energy, like that. People feed off that energy, So it's gonna be crazy. Like it ain't gonna be fun. It ain't gonna look pretty. Man, I might say that it ain't gonna look pretty. He said, "Trust the process," and Aaron Rodgers' voice. Relax. Yeah, definitely, man. Like, give it time. Like, because you can't be like, as soon as Michael Penix drop back and he throw an INT, see, that's why we shouldn't have did it. Or Tua do it. See, you should have just put Michael Penix in. And then, okay, Tua get hit on the backside, knock on wood, and then something happened. See, I don't see why we got him. You know what I'm saying? Oh, see, Stefanski ain't got. It's like, have you ever met people that wait? They waiting for something to go wrong so they can say, like, I told you. You know them people? I told you. They do their head like that too. I told you. Like, shut up. Like you said, trust the process. Like, it's a lot of people that's waiting for stuff to go wrong, and then they don't know how to compute or understand when stuff goes right. They don't even know how to celebrate it because they was looking for it to go wrong. People look like they're counting us out. And I'm not upset about like the media counting us out and not giving the Atlanta Falcons the respect and saying that we're, 30th team at best, 28th team at best. You know what I'm saying? I'm not mad about those things because we're not consistent, y'all. It's not basing off of what we have now. It's basing off of what we've done since then. We've been trash, right? We haven't been the best. We haven't been the breakout team. Of course, we got a Bijan Robinson on our team. But then as soon as we wasn't paying him, you know what people were saying? If he ain't gonna pay him, trade him. He ain't gonna do this, get rid of him. Get rid of him. Get rid of the best guy, the best running back in the NFL. Like, let's get rid of him. Get rid of him. This person. It's like we want instant. We want a Eagles team. I think a lot of people want an Eagles team when they just put all the stars on a team, and then once everybody to a point where you're winning Super Bowls and this, that, and the third, but at the end of the day, you ain't gonna be able to pay everybody. Somebody gonna be unhappy. Somebody gonna be like, wait a minute, that guy got 154 mil. What about me? That dude I had like 100. I had like 20 more tackles than him. More pass deflect. Like, it's gonna tell you, people see that stuff. People see that. Bijan to see a Bergeron getting paid. People like Bijan to see a Kyle Pitts getting paid, a Drake London getting paid, and people said we overpaid for them. I don't consider it being overpaid once you get paid for what you get paid for past performance, and then understanding that it might be some incentives that go into there. It might be like, look, you're going to get this, but what you need to do for this year, you got to still have 1,200 yards. You know what I'm saying? It's some incentives. You get a bonus. And like, we don't know. We're not sitting down with these people, man, and looking at their contracts and reading every clause in it. You know what I'm saying? We've been mid 7, 10, 8, 9 seasons. It's not trash. Just mid. I'm not talking about our record. I'm not talking about our record. I'm not talking about our record. I'm taking the totality of 10 years. Let's take the totality of 10 years. Can we do that? Let's do that. I challenge you. Let's take 10 years. Out of those 10 years, we've been solid 2 of them. We've had losing seasons. Losing seasons. If you tell me I'll be 7-10 three years in a row and still not make it to the playoffs, losing season. If you tell me we be 8-9 2 years in a row, and everybody in the division is 8-9, and we ain't had to do to win one of those games, and we still lost, we still didn't make it to the playoffs, losing season. I don't want to be mediocre. That's what you're telling me. We've been mid. And then I understand that. That's your opinion. You know what I'm saying? But by the analytics and stats, I get you. I get what you're saying. I get it. But we've been trash, bro. We've had 8 consecutive losing seasons without a playoff entry. That is trash. I mean, if you go deep dive and say, hey, 7-10 and 8-9, cool. But at the end of the day, bro, just like they said today, we don't care what happens in the season as long as we beat the Aints. I'm not one of them people. I can't be one of them people. I'm not one of them. I'm not one of them. I'm not celebrating because we beat the Saints twice and that's it. And we dancing. You know what I'm saying? Nah, not me. And lost 3 because of special teams. Absolutely. Because those would have been 3 that we won. We wouldn't be having this conversation. But the problem with that too we wouldn't be having this team we have today. So that's the blessing. Us losing is the blessing. So we could just start over fresh. So that's the great thing about now is that 7-10 and that 8-9 doesn't even matter anymore. That's dead. Oh, that's dead. I'm gonna be super critical for this team because like I said, I'm super critical because I look at I'm a stats guy. I look at the stats. I look at this. I look at that. I look at scenarios. I look at coaches. I look at players. I look at At the end of the day, like you said, I'm not debunking nothing you're saying about 7-10 and 8-9, and you like that's not trash. It's not good either. By the standards of the NFL, that is a losing seasons. No playoff berth in 8 years consecutively. There's no way you can. That's the silver line. That's the silver line. That's when you can be like, you know what? But we were 7. We mid. Not with because like I honestly believe like our team is better than it is. It's like certain positions lack consistency. Like we didn't need like a Michael Penix or a Kirk Cousins to be spectacular. We needed people that was available, healthy, and we needed consistent quality quarterback play. Because if Bijan was running all over the place with 1,400 yards 2 seasons in a row, that means our identity is becoming a running team. So therefore, we're going to do everything in our power to hand Bijan the ball so he could do Bijan. Right. We need to beat the teams we should have last year. Yeah. Like it's different. Like and then like we was out coached. So at the end of the day, sometimes, like I said, the coaching. So that's why it was just like we couldn't go another year with the same people around. Like Ubrick, he did his thing, and the people who, his under like the people up under him in control of, what they're in control of, but we can't. And then our schedule this year is worse. Like it ain't no. We actually got to be like we got to treat them like we did Minnesota. You see how we did Minnesota when we went against Minnesota? We was like, okay, this defense is her. So we need to be like that. We need to be like that. we really need, honestly, I'm a bit, and I think that's a culture shock. So like understanding that we want players to, and want people to do what they're gonna do, but I think it was a lot of stuff in the background in the locker room that we just really didn't know, when people are getting put out and people are getting fired, people are pointing fingers, you know what I'm saying? So I don't feel like we got that element of that type of going on. We got other outside stuff going on, but that can do a lot for your, that can divide your, your locker room. That part. Play everybody like you played the Bills and Rams. Look past no one and don't look yet. Carolina on the rise. Okay, so even with Carolina, we just have to basically, um and it's different too, because like one of my favorite, and I don't want to bring religion into this, but one of my favorite songs, gospel songs, is "Say Yes." It's like when I hear that song, I get emotional because I'm like, man, like it is powerful to me. When she said in the beginning of the song, she said, "You have to make it personal." When people go out down the field, they have to. I feel like they have to have people. They should teach these guys. Let's take it. Let's make it personal. Let's take it like they beat us. They gave us a goose egg. When we play them, our first home opener, we need to destroy them. We need to show them that we're here. That was one of the things I took when they had Roddy White on ESPN. I would talk about it. It was like ESPN or whatever he was on. He was like, man, they gonna give us our respect. They don't give us our respect. They don't give. Take it. Take it. Like, take your respect. What's up, Lock? Just saying, hey, we're fine. Thanks. See, ENC. Oh yeah. So it's like, understand that nobody's gonna give it to you. You have to be so good and so dominating to a point. It's gonna be like, man, yeah, we slept on y'all. Good. Keep sleeping. So you got to take it personal. Like, and I feel like a lot of these guys, and that's coaching, y'all, because you got a lot of fire in the people. That's coaching, leadership. The leaders even the leaders in the locker room, they have to be the ones that be like, hey man, like, fuck this, like, hey, we finna get it. I was looking at highlights of Michael Vick. Who they were playing. Was it the Rams? It was when he was with the Eagles. I think it was whatever team they was playing, they were celebrating early. It was like 27, 37, the 10, 30, 34 to 10 or something like. It was like they were celebrating. You know how it go. And Michael Vick, Deshaun Jackson, at the end of that game, they won. They took it personal. They just sitting there looking at each other like, hey, man. And then that's how it has to be. We had to take it personal. Like, live to fight another day, but we had to get to a point where we got to take it personal. We got, like, you know what? We ain't finna lose it. We want this division. I tell people, beat everybody in the division first. That's number one. You can beat everybody else, but you make sure you beat the people in your division. But we got any Q&As. I got any questions. I'm gonna take a few questions if y'all have any. If y'all have any questions before I head up out of here, because it's almost time. I gotta go to my job, close my store down. Yeah. Any questions? If not, we're gonna go ahead and end anything. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go ahead and go into my salutations anyway. Like I said, appreciate everybody for stopping by, man. Like I said, finally got my Kyle Pitts jersey signed. So now, you know what I'm saying, the boy can be smiley, you know what I'm saying? I can grin now. So if you haven't followed the Lochness on the Lochness podcast, follow the Lochness on the Lochness podcast on YouTube. I was told I need to go ahead and get some stickers or some things and pass some things out when I'm at these events. Hey, follow me. I'm the Lochness on the Lochness podcast, representing Atlanta Falcon Nation AFN, where we got the Magazine and the Lady Birds, you know what I'm saying? Coach Unchained, you know what I'm saying? Just go down the whole list of who we have on our repertoire. Well, part of the, the Regulators podcast, you know what I'm saying? Hey, we represent the city. And that'll be it. Go ahead and hit that I'm gonna have to have a QR code on it. QR code, go straight to the thing. Go ahead and hit subscribe. Hit that notification bell. And then be having a bag of some shirts that I get made, right? And then anybody I come up on, I'm like, you follow me at the Lochness on the Lochness podcast? And they're like, yeah, I follow you. Now look, they son, here's a free shirt. That's how you gotta do it. I'm gonna be 100%. We're gonna get this done. We got the pet rally coming up. We're gonna get this done. I just put we lit, we live, we out here on the shirts. Yeah, we can do that. Y'all gonna make me breaking my man. Y'all gonna have me going into my bag, man. I don't know. I'm one of them people I like to give people stuff. But yeah, like I said, I appreciate everybody, man, for tuning in to the Lochness podcast. Came on a little earlier than what is expected. But it's Tuesday. Let's talk about it, man. We are facing an uphill battle, man. Like I said, we were down our defensive first round picks. Jalen Walker and JPJ missing a couple of days, and Walker out for the season. Basically, how would this defense look, man? Like, are they going to galvanize? Are we going to are we going to still be disruptive? You know what I'm saying? Because we did add some pieces that make sense. Ian Cunningham is still doing what he do. And I think this team by committee, and then a lot of prove it deals where people seeing people getting paid. Like I said, that can be, have people licking their chops too. Like if you a hungry dog and you look over there at the other kennel and this other dog's getting fed steaks and potatoes and you like, damn. And you look down at your plate, you got kibble. And you looking at their place and they eating. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna get to a point where appreciate it, thank you. They'll get to a point where, hey man, I want to eat steak and potatoes too. So that's another thing. Another thing where people getting signed and getting money for their performances, and they're actively seeing that can resonate within somebody else as well, to be like, okay, I need to step my game up because they obviously paying their people. That can help our team too. That can be a good look for the team and people that's trying to make it to this team. But until then, I appreciate y'all. I'm lit. Like I said, I got the Kyle Pitts signed jersey. I'm lit. Everything. Hey, we waiting for this Friday preseason against Denver Broncos. Let's see how it goes, man. But like I said, I appreciate y'all for stopping by. Until next Tuesday. And like I said, go check out anybody that's representing the Atlanta Falcons, man, that's pushing this great content. Like I say, anybody, the Water Boys, I met them. They're cool. Met Smitty, met Big Country. These are some cool guys. Check them out. Tell them the Lochness sent you. Always. I think Lady Bird's having a show tonight. Maggie T. Lady Bird's going on tonight. Because I normally would go after them or go before them. So I think they are. If they are, tune in at 8 o'clock, 8:05, I believe. Lady Bird's representing AFN. Check them out as well. And anybody on the AFN LLC platform, podcast, creators, or anybody, just anybody. I really say, like, these people can be the next collaborators. So I always go to everybody's content, thumbs up, show love and support. And I always believe in when you support, you get support. You feel me? So, hey, until then, peace out. I appreciate y'all.